All right, Landon, hit the disclaimer. I wanted to talk about metabolism specifically. Does metabolism change as we age? Spoiler, it doesn't. Metabolism adapts to behavior and we can influence that. So the textbook definition of metabolism is the sum of all chemical processes that keep you alive, turning food into energy, repairing tissue, and maintaining basic function. Practically speaking, it's how your body uses energy. And when people say metabolism, they're usually talking about calorie burn. That includes basal metabolic rate, the thermic effect of food, exercise activity, non-exercise activity. Aging doesn't magically break metabolism. What happens is we move less, we lose muscle, we develop anabolic and protein resistance, hormones decline, recovery worsens, we get chronic diseases, and metabolism adapts to less stimulus. It's not just more birthdays. And so how do we evaluate metabolism? We evaluate, we don't just guess, but this includes our body composition analysis. It spits out a basal metabolic rate based off muscle mass, fat mass, and this shows what it takes to run your engine if you did nothing, your basal metabolic rate. If you laid in bed and did nothing, it tells us how much calories it takes to keep your engine going, your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, your brain to think, your food to digest, all that stuff. Other things that can help: labs to check out your thyroid, your insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, your sex hormones. They can all impact on how you're using the fuel that you intake. Is a broken metabolism real? In reality, most people don't have a broken metabolism. They have a chronically suppressed. Long-term calorie deficits, stress, muscle mass all tell the body to conserve energy. And surprisingly, we have plenty of studies and data to show that metabolism stays relatively constant even as we age. But how do we fix it? How do we make it better? How do we improve our metabolism? And the solution isn't starvation or endless cardio. It's preserving muscle, eating enough protein, strength training, sleeping, managing stress, correcting hormonal deficiencies. And one of the other things that helps a chronically suppressed metabolism is actually reverse dieting and planned calorie increases. This sounds crazy, and I feel like reverse dieting is just a trend on social media, but it does have merit, because if you're just chronically trying to diet and stay in a hard calorie deficit week after week, month after month, your body adapts. You will not be moving as much. If you're not fueling yourself, your body just instinctively stops doing little fidgets. You just move less. You're not going to want to exercise as long or as intense. And so your resting metabolic rate does drop. NEAT drops, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. You move less without even realizing it. Fat loss stalls while you're still eating very little. So you can purposely go in and increase your calories. And this is where people are calling it reverse dieting. And it sounds crazy, but it is intentionally increasing your calories for a short period, every 3 to 4 months or so, to let your body restore your thyroid output. Start increasing daily movement. This helps improve training performance and raise metabolic output. And it isn't cheating. This isn't like a month of cheat meals or binge eating. And it is difficult to increase a bit. So I'll say, just say a guy that is at 2,000 calories a day and he's been chronically suppressed trying to get 1,600 calories, but he stopped losing weight after 3 months. We want to get him back up to 2,000, maybe even a little bit of a surplus, say 2,400, and let him there. I don't want him to overshoot to 4,000, but we want to slowly get him back up so he can readjust to everything. Paradoxically, eating more strategically can help fat loss in the long term. And so chronic undereating slows metabolism far more than age. Your protein needs actually increase as we age due to anabolic resistance. What is exercise's role in metabolic health? Cardio burns calories now. Strength training raises the baseline. Muscle being an active tissue, it consumes more calories at rest. And so that helps you build a bigger engine for overall calorie consumption, basal metabolic rate, and your muscles being a glucose sink. You'll utilize things easier in your muscles. And so the final takeaway is your metabolism is adapted. It's not fragile, but long-term progress comes from periodization, fueling appropriately, building muscle, and sometimes planned calorie increases, not just pure restriction for weeks and months on it. All of this addresses insulin resistance, but if this is holding you back, hormone optimization will be your best bet. We can dive deeper into this with labs and deploy further agents like berberine, GLP-1s, or other options if we need. We can always look into that. Metabolism adapts to what you do repeatedly. If the progress is stalled, the plan, not your body, needs to change. So if you have any questions, text or call. We'll be happy to work with you and do something today that your hormones will thank you for.